new movie code is something else. The film Romeo and Juliet has a love scene between two 14-year-olds. You have to be 21 to see it.
Perhaps the reason more women don't run for the Senate is because every 6 years their seat is up for grabs.
The reason for the world population problem is that the people in the backward countries are way much too forward.
Kids today really have it soft. When I went to school, it was 10 miles each way. And my chauffeur never complained.
When I was a kid in school, I didn't do very well. It's not easy getting from the back of the bus to the front of the class in Mississippi.
I don't mind jazz influencing church music, but I still prefer Amen to One More Time.
My parents are so old-fashioned. They still think I'm talking about television when I say tune in and turn on.
I guess those silly games are all right, but for good, clean fun, you can't beat camping.
I took up a collection for a man in our office, but I didn't get enough to buy one.
In Russia, we know got problems with smudges with the automobiles. The biggest problem we have is with horses because of habiosis of genetics, unless it's cold outside.
You know, I like a little nip before dinner, so I got a Japanese houseboy. Those marvelous dreams, darling.
Should move Christmas to July. Then the stores aren't so crowded.
The Russian people are very hospitable. They're always taking in borders. So far, they took in the Hungarian border, the Czechoslovakian border, and now they're making room for the Romanian border.
I simply quit the Peace Corps flat when they assigned me to Ecuador. Nobody goes to Ecuador in October.
Modern office methods have even affected the church. Nowadays, we have original sin and 3 carbon copies.
Our group health plan is operating at a loss. Mr. Golden says we either have to cut out our maternity benefits or do away with the caste parties.
My psychiatrist finally convinced me to stop looking at the dark side of things. Now they only convince the real estate people.
I got stuck on a troop train from New York to California. You know, they're right. Getting there is half the fun.
It's true that marriages are made in heaven. Unfortunately, divorces are available locally.
I don't care about quickie divorces. What I need is a quickie anything.
I never admitted this before, but on our honeymoon, my wife's mother slept in the same room with us. Did you ever try to save a good yell till you got outside?
Madam Zodiac sign for tonight is Libra.
Yes, Libra is the sign for people born between September 23rd and October 22nd. Men born under this sign talk a lot and go around weighing things. They are called Librans. Women born under this sign are very quiet and go around reading books. They are called librarians.
Look that up in your Funkin' Wagnall.
It is written, when the lips are dry and the body hungers, the soul is out to lunch.
Honey, he doesn't look guru-ish.
Tell it like it is, Sapphire.
over curve. And here is my review. Today, I attended the performance of one of the world's top-rated rivers, the Mississippi. My first impression was that the detractors who say that the river don't do nothing, don't say nothing, but just keeps rolling along, are making an unfair criticism. I say, what can you expect from a river?
Why I Can't Stand Grief by Henry Gibson. It doesn't give us enough time to attend to our chores. Well, take for example the hurricane, which always seems to happen just as we're getting in the bathtub. In addition, there are all the plagues. But most of all, it is those disasters which befall us willy-nilly, such as splinters. There are no good griefs.
Let's step right up and hear it for the salesman, the fellow who can sell you anything.
Let's cheer it for the guy who sells your rug off the floor. Head in the clouds, foot in the door.
For one thing, down the 10th part of the dollar. He'll sell you Brooklyn Bridge and Burbank too.
He'll sell his mother,
his dad and brother.
Oh, well, we love and we love you.
He'll even sell a haircut to a hippie, a modern dancing course to Fred Astaire.
He'll try to sell some lessons teaching Strickland to sing. Ooh, the Burtons to act, the non-credits to wing.
You won't sell an Eskimo and icebox. You'll sell a pound of peanuts to a zoo. Crunch, crunch. There's no resistance to his persistence.
Oh, Mr. Salesman, we love you, we do. Oh, Mr. Salesman, we love you.
I don't know why people like to knock salesmen. If it wasn't for salesmen, we wouldn't have all that stuff we don't need.
You know, people claim insurance men bother them over and over again, but I've only seen mine once, and when I die, I'll collect over $35 million.
I like salesmen because they don't get discouraged over the little things, like not having your size in stock.
Well, speaking of stock, who says salesmen are concerned citizens? I mean, if it weren't for the traveling salesman, there'd be no rural population at all.
Salesmen aren't heartless. I know one who talked a man out of jumping off a building. Convinced the man to hanging himself instead. He was a rope salesman.
Speaking of Colonel Culpepper, that's what this show needs, is more nostalgia.
I'll give you a little nostalgia. My husband's a salesman, and he always guarantees prompt delivery. 9 months to the day, I was in the hospital.
Listen, my uncle's a salesman. He sells seashells by the seashore, and he lisps.
Oh, speaking of shells, salesman ruined my life. Goldie and I were identical twins until he sold me that darn sun lamp.
Hell, if the Avon lady married the traveling salesman and they went away on a honeymoon, maybe we'd have some peace for a change.
Well, ring my chimes.
Step right up and hear it from the salesman. That comer on the corner of the street.
Let's separate a guy who gives that doorbell a ring. Knock her a knock.
You're telling a ting! Oh, heaven will protect the farmer's daughter, but who'll protect the farmer in the dell?
Be loud and let me adventure Biffy.
Hey, Mr. Salesman, go to hell, my king.
We'll return right after this message.
Since I started using your detergent in my bath, all my things come out brighter.
America. Art Linkletter is getting fat off your label. You say clever things, and he makes money off of it. And what do you get? Scale and no residuals. And what does Linkletter have? A mansion in Beverly Hills, oil wells in Texas, sheep ranches in Australia. It's not fair. So, the next time Art Linkletter asks you to go on TV, bite him on the ankle and say, kids do the darndest things. Or something. I thank you.
Learn to know yourself.
I think all this psychiatry stuff is ridiculous. If parents treated their kids right, there'd be no need for psychiatrists. Well, my parents, for instance, always made me feel an important part of their life, even though they had very little education and only owned a small grocery store. They taught me to accept myself for what I am, a carrot.
It's like I always say, the family that bathes together stays together. Wrong! Hello, I'm your duty dog. Pull my string and I talk. Touch my little body and I hit you. I may be a dog, but I'm not dumb.
Yes, you are. You're dumb. Now go over there and stand by Goldie. That's a good little dolly. You know what? You're kind of cute.
Touch my little body and I'll hit you.
Merged with Avon Calling, and they made Katie Winters president. When somebody rang your chimes, you jolly well know you're in for a 5-day pause that refreshes.
Spying lamp number 281. When stealing state secrets from the Kremlin, always take the ones on the top. They're fresher.
And now a word from the Prime Minister of Indonesia.
Careful, Walnutto.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's another draft card, Werner.
What do you mean draft card? This is my diner's card.
What's that got to do with Vietnam?
How should I know? I never ate there.
And now we go stumbling back through history to the studio of one of the greatest composers of all times. Take it away, Ludwig van Beethoven.
Ludwig, what's the matter?
Nothing's right. I feel tense, irritable. Do we have an aspirin?
Now, what's the matter? Do you have a headache?
Huh?
I say you have a headache!
What difference does it make?
Well, if you have a headache, you take aspirin. But if you want to write a song, you take Compose! And now, for all you sports nuts, here's the cutest thing on spikes, that old wedgie himself, Alan Seuss!
All you sports fans, this is Big Al and the old football diamond with a sports editorial. Tonight I have a word for the commissioner of baseball. Hi. Come on now, Commissioner. Don't you really think those brutes on the playing field look a little bit ridiculous? I mean, those silly knickers. I say off with those silly knickers and let's get those boys into culottes. Well, that's it for tonight's sports. This is Big Al with a Big Al sports scene. Ta-ta.
Have you noticed that it's warmer in the country than it is in the summer?
This was Stranger Than Truth.
Granddaddy always told his youngins, it's better to beat our swords into plowshares. You hit a man with a plowshare, he's gonna know he's been hit.
Yes, they don't like a kid. Why don't they go back where they coming from?
This was Tell It Like It Is.
Isn't your name Ignatius Chignasty McNeary?
It's Grabowski.
Wait a minute, Ignatius Chignasty. Goldie, listen to this. Ignatius Chignasty McNeary Grabowski. That's one heck of a name.
Don't push me, don't push me.
Don't be so hard on cannibals. They like people.
This was Go Like This and Say Wrong.
As Michelangelo said as he finished painting the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, and now they tell me they wanted wallpaper.
This was Go to Your Room, Alan.
What would you get if you crossed a kangaroo with a, nice Jewish girl?
Very upset Jewish mother.
That Jewish mother joke with a side order of chicken soup. A gorilla is making advances at me.
Yes, but is he serious?
This was I Don't Know. I've never been out with one.
I'm coming from small mir near Stivujetsis, Pakujetsis, Santotoyevaichi.
Roses are red and violets are blue. Sugar is sweet when it's brown.
This was How Does That Grab You?
I can divorce my wife, but I don't have enough money.
Borrow it from the bank. Tell them it's a home improvement loan.
I don't want to wind up an old maid.
Okay, bring her in and I'll wind her up.
This was Blow in Her Ear. She'll follow you anywhere.
I'd rather hear you sing than eat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've heard you eat.
This was The Big Finish, folks.
You will be right back, and you will like it.